Hi, I'm Brian Sabatino. I'm a professional counselor in Tempe, Arizona. I work a lot with people with addictions. And the reason I'm making this video today is to pass along some information that could possibly help you or maybe someone you know on how to deal with a really common problem in recovering from addictions: cravings. Everybody who has tried to quit an addiction knows what a craving is. It's that sense of overwhelming impulse to do something. It could be a drug addiction, an alcohol addiction, or a behavioral addiction like overeating or exercising or sex or relationships or gambling, any number of things. Anyway, what comes up over and over again in my program is people not having the coping skills that they need to cope with cravings. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about that and see if you can benefit from it. The analogy that I use a lot in the group that I run is The Wizard of Oz. And we all know the movie where Dorothy and her friends were walking up to the great fiery, ominous ball that is the Wizard of Oz. And they were all shaking in their boots and not knowing what was going to happen. And that's what a craving can feel like, just totally overwhelming. And so what I like to say is that if we can break cravings down into their component parts, we can realize that that big, ominous, fiery ball is really just a man behind the curtain. And the way we do that is many ways, actually, and I'll refer you to a really important resource for that later. But one of the ways we work with cravings is through journaling. And through journaling, we break down a craving into its component parts. And cravings are made up of a number of things: thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, emotions, physical sensations in the body, mental images, all sorts of things. And when we sit down with a blank piece of paper and just write down what's going on for me right now, what am I thinking, what am I believing, what am I feeling in my body, what memories am I experiencing right now, what impulses, and we write that out, we're putting the craving into black and white. We're making it real, we're making it two-dimensional, we're making it manageable. And once you've done that, the big, ominous, fiery Oz has now been revealed as just the man behind the curtain. It doesn't mean you don't have more action to take, but now instead of the craving having you, you have the craving, and you can take charge of your life that way. Now one of the reasons cravings are so powerful is because they live in the old part of our brain called the reptilian brain, which involves things like the amygdala and other parts of the brain that have really fancy words like nucleus accumbens and ventral tegmental area. Basically, we call those parts of the brains the pleasure center, to keep it simple. So when the pleasure center is overwhelming your brain, that's why the cravings seem unmanageable. So we do the breakdown in the journal, and we make it manageable. Now, on my blog, on my website, I have many suggestions for how to manage cravings, and they're categorized because we're multidimensional beings, so the ways to manage cravings need to be multidimensional. So there's ways that fit into the social realm, the physical realm, the intellectual realm. There's about, I think, 8 categories there. So if you need some help with managing your cravings, this is a good resource. Just go to my website and go on the blog, and it's called Keeping Up with the Joneses. It's posted on September 18th of 2008. I chose Keeping Up with the Joneses because that's an old expression, I think from the 60s, where people used to say I was jonesing for something. I don't know if they still say that today, but so we want to keep up with our Joneses. We want to be able to stay on top of our cravings and manage them well. Everybody can recover from addiction, and you have to really want to. But if you want to, or you know someone who wants to, turn them on to this resource and see if it helps them out.